Yes, sir. Welcome back to another edition of Fast Break Bets presented by BettingPros. You know me, you know the voice, you know the guys. Me, really real, villain real. It's Raw Firmer Jr. here at your service. All right, Monday was a good day despite the heat and a horrible uh 2 overtime loser skunk. We had a good day on Monday. So despite the Heat doing that, we had a good day. It was 2-1 on Monday. Come back on Tuesday to overall what is yet another good day. We had the podcast plays, fast break bets, and where I had Rockets laying 10.5. Shout out to my folks that also had the Rockets laying 13 here. Never in doubt because the Rockets go ahead and get this done and win by 23. So whether you got the best of the number or the worst of the number, you ended up covering. So congrats to anybody that tailed there with the Rockets. Wizards, bad basketball team. We'll talk about the Wizards a little bit later on. Other play was Jaylen Brown. So that kept us from a sweep because the Celtics didn't look like overall, the Celtics looked like they were really coasting that game. They went up big early in the first half, and they kind of let Denver hang around. They tied the game up at half. Denver had a little bit of a lead in there in the third. Celtics kind of deaded any hope of Denver winning the game outright. And, towards the end of that game, kind of just pulled away, ended up winning by 12. But Jaylen Brown never really got going. He started out the game slow, started to pick up late, but by that point it was too late. So he finishes with 14. He doesn't get over 21, 22 and a half, whatever you got the number at. He didn't cover any of the numbers. So we lose there. However, it was a very good day on social media. You tail the social media plays because the powers that be had me drop a couple of college basketball plays, and I was happy to oblige them, of course. I had some things that I was looking at, and I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and tap into the college basketball lane here. And so Kentucky laying 3.5 with the number one Tennessee coming to the swamp. This now makes 3 straight games that Tennessee has gone into the swamp and walked out with an L. Kentucky got the win there. That was a very nice cash there. We got Iowa with a comeback win at home in overtime. Finally, an overtime game goes our way. Finally, we get Iowa. That was really, really good there, laying 4.5 on social media as well. So we got those 2 plays. That was a nice 2-0 cash in college basketball. And then we also got another NBA play in LaMelo Ball. LaMelo is just such an entertaining player to watch. Like at this point, LaMelo is just so entertaining. He does it all, everything. And yes, he may be terribly inefficient. Yes, the Hornets may lose basketball games. But if you're a Hornets fan, at least you're going to the game and you're entertained by what you see when you get there. So LaMelo goes over 11.5 RA, rebounds and assists. That was rather easy as well. No sweat for LaMelo. I think he cashed that in like 3 quarters. So 3-0 on the social media plays yesterday. 1-1 here on the pod. Pretty good day, if I do say so myself. Not bad. All right. Got a couple of plays for you for a Wednesday in basketball. We'll talk about it. But first, got to make sure I talk to y'all about the Discord. Make sure you get into our Betting Pros Discord. You have the opportunity to be in there. Hey, extra plays get dropped in Discord all the time. I'm in there chatting it up with some of the fast break bets. We gotta find a cool little name for the breakers. The breakers for the breakers, the fast breakers. Oh no, I don't know. I'm not in love with that. I could find something else. I'm pretty sure I can find something better. But whatever. Shout out to all the community, everybody in the community that's over there. We're chatting it up in Discord. You can chat with us. You can chat with Daily Juice. You can chat with anybody. We have chat rooms for everybody, and just building the community, becoming a better, and also getting the chance to tell other people, see what they got going on. It's a whole new world over there in the Betting Pros Discord. Go join that chat at bettingpros.com/chat. That is bettingpros.com/chat to join that Discord. All right, let's do this. 2 plays. I told you we were going to talk about the Wizards. I can't wait until you guys hear me talk about the Wizards here. But I really can't wait till you guys hear this. Washington Wizards on the road going to play the Philadelphia 76ers. 76ers are laying 11.5 right now. This line is growing. I saw this line at 9.5, and it's now at 11.5. 219.5 is total. The injury report is big. And so in this game, Philly is going to be without Joel Embiid, Paul George, KJ Martin, Kyle Lowry, and potentially they may or may not have Andre Drummond, who's dealing with a toe injury. He's questionable. No Kyle Lowry, Kyle Lowry doesn't really matter. I don't like Kyle Lowry. As we grow along with this show, you'll realize that there's a handful of basketball players that I dislike, some for a reason, some for no reason, and Kyle Lowry is one of them. But Paul George, Joel Embiid, KJ Martin, all out. 3 pretty big pieces for them. For the Wizards side of ball, Kyle Kuzma is going to be a questionable tag. We'll see if he's going to go on a back-to-back. Malcolm Brogdon did not play against the Rockets. We'll see if he'll play the second leg of the back-to-back. And Jordan Poole did not play in that game against the Rockets either. We'll see if he'll make the second leg of a back-to-back. Maybe the reason that the line is growing is because Jordan Poole, Kyle Kuzma, and Malcolm Brogdon are all uncertain for what their status is going to be for this game. But I am extremely hesitant to lay 11.5 with the Philadelphia 76ers. Very, very, very hesitant. At this point, I mean, there's nothing that actually tells me like I think this is a very good move and that I should lay 11.5 here. Like it's absolutely nothing. We can look at recent history with the 76ers. Why don't we? If you look at what the 76ers have done recently, they haven't necessarily been all that good. And when they did have their good games, it was with Joel Embiid in the lineup. But if you look at the 76ers and what they've done recently, they've only won a game by this win margin twice in the last 10 games. Twice the 76ers. The only time the 76ers have won a game by more than 11.5 points was against Portland, against Brooklyn. Now, granted, they were laying 7 and 9 in those games. They ended up covering the large number in those games. Okay. However, I'm pretty sure in both of those games they had Joel Embiid and Paul George. Yes, they did. One or the other. In fact, if we go back and we look at this season, what the 76ers have done without Joel Embiid and Paul George, they lost to Milwaukee 124-109. They lost to Toronto 115-107. They ended up winning and beating Indiana by 4. They lost by 10 to Detroit. They lost by 124-107 to Memphis. They lost by 8 to Cleveland. Boom, 113-98. There we go. They destroyed Brooklyn. 2.5-point favorites. They covered 11.5. Then you have a bad loss to the Clippers. You add another loss to Houston. You add another loss to Orlando that doesn't have Franz Wagner or Paolo Banchero. I say all this to say, guys, in the last 10 games that this Philadelphia 76ers team has played anybody without Joel Embiid and without Paul George, they have only covered this number once. Not any point were they laying anything close to 11.5 points. Now, so let's turn this around. I understand the Wizards are horrible. But this is actually a team that the Wizards get up for. Believe it or not. If you look at their last 10 meetings, the Wizards have covered this number in 7 of the last 10 meetings against the 76ers. That is with Joel Embiid. That is without Joel Embiid. In fact, the last time that these two teams played, Joel Embiid did not play, and the 76ers only lost by 5. I mean, the Wizards only lost by 5. So I understand. I really do like Tyrese Maxey. I think Maxey is a great player. I don't think the rest of the roster is built where this team can sustain itself, missing all of these pieces, playing against a Wizards team that, I mean, come on, when the Wizards get up for a game, they get up for a game. When the Wizards get up for a game, they almost win a game. We talked about it all the time. Look at the 6 wins. They have 6 wins that they won outright. They have 2 losses where the games are close, and everything else has been horrible. So could I be wrong, and could this be one of the horrible games? Absolutely. I think I'm willing to take my chance with the team that the Wizards feel familiar with, that they have typically kept games closer with. It's, again, 7 of the last 10 times they met, the Wizards have stayed within this number. And man, there's no Joel Embiid, no Paul George, no KJ Martin. Like, they're missing a lot of pieces. I understand the Wizards could be without some pieces too, but I still think they can keep this within the number because this 76ers team isn't good at all. I'm taking the Washington Wizards. I'm taking them plus 11.5. I think that we can get a good game from Corey Kispert coming off the bench. I think we can get a good game from Bub Carrington, who has had really, really good games over the course of the year. And we'll see if Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole end up playing. It makes me feel all the more better about this play. So I think that we can get a get up game for the Wizards here. I'm taking them plus 11.5. And again, when the Wizards are competitive, the Wizards have a chance, and they typically do win the game outright. So plus 470 on the money line. Yeah, that's definitely worth the money line sprinkle here against a bad 76ers team. So there we go. That's play number 1. I'm backing the Washington Wizards. Wow. I might have just lit that bet on fire, but hey, I mean, if I feel like I have a hunch, I have a hunch, and this 76ers team is really bad. So even this Wizards team can probably keep up with them. All right, let's get to the second play. We're going to go with the San Antonio Spurs on the road, going to play the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks laying 5.5. 222.5 is the total. I'm taking a player prop for this game. Shout out to the prop bet cheat sheet for giving me yet another play. Taking Giannis. Very, very chalk play here with Giannis. We're going Giannis over 45.5 points, rebounds, and assists. We got a 49.0 points, rebounds, and assists projection from the prop bet cheat sheet, 63% cover probability. Giannis has been really good to this 10 of his last 15 games. He's gone over 6 of his last 10. He's gone over. Very, very good here. You look at Giannis, he has gone over in his last meeting against San Antonio. But when I was thinking about this and I was thinking about Giannis, I thought about the last time I saw this San Antonio team. Well, not the last time, but one of the last times I saw this San Antonio team play. And it was against Joker. And Joker absolutely went off. He was able to get inside the paint, even against Victor Wembanyama, and be able to hit some very, very good tough buckets and keep that Nuggets team in the game. And I can see Giannis doing a lot of the same, of Giannis just being able to get to the paint and be able to score some really, really tough buckets. And then also what he does with the playmaking and passing out of the post and being able to get the ball to his teammates and score that way as well. And so I think, of course, the rebounds, we know the rebounds can always be there. He's going to be battling with Wemby on the board. So, yeah, I think that there's a world of possibilities here for Giannis to be able to fill up a stat sheet here against the San Antonio Spurs. You don't have to really do too much to sell me on Giannis over PRA. This just feels like a really, really good spot against the Spurs defense that, again, just let Jokic score 40 in back-to-back games against them. So I think that Giannis, with the scoring, with the rebounds, with the assist, he can go way over a 45.5 line. So give me Giannis over 45.5 points, rebounds, and assists. That is play number 2. Wizards plus 11.5, sprinkle on the money line against 76ers. Giannis over 45.5 points, rebounds, and assists. With that, I'm at really real __. Give me a follow on X at Betting Pros on X and TikTok at Betting Pros NFL on Instagram and YouTube.com/Betting Pros, where you can give us a like, give us a follow, make sure you're subscribed, and hey, drop a comment on any fast break bets video, and you'll have an opportunity to win a Trae Young signed jersey. And I mean, isn't this the best time to get a Trae Young signed jersey after he goes and hits a half court prayer against the Utah Jazz? Shout out to the Utah Jazz for covering the game still, but yeah, best time to get a Trae Young jersey, isn't it? Well, go ahead and comment on the Fast Break Bets video. You'll have a chance to win that jersey at the end of the month. All right, with that, that's it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to end it like this. We are out of here.